Good day, happy travelers. Seven Continents Travel Agency here today talking about food on cruise lines. I'm fresh back from a 7-day Southern Caribbean cruise, but I'm also Thanksgiving was a little bit, we're recording this January 10th. So I went on Carnival Mardi Gras for Thanksgiving. I was on Royal Caribbean Jewel of the Seas for Christmas. And on Facebook, on Reddit, whatever the forum is, people always ask, hey, what's the difference between Royal Caribbean and Carnival? And one of the chief items that I want to talk about is food. Let's talk about food. Here are some pictures. If you've seen some of my other videos, this is the Royal Caribbean food. This is some pictures of the food, the presentation. It looks like, hey, I wouldn't go so far as to say, you know what, I would say Royal Caribbean's presentation is very much in alignment with an Olive Garden experience. And I don't feel bad saying that. I mean that as a compliment. More pictures of food here from Royal Caribbean. Just showing you that, hey, when it's presented to you, it looks very good. It looks great. Coffee with dessert was fantastic. Beef Wellington for Christmas was fantastic. And here's, if you've never seen the menu before, you're not familiar with some of the menu offerings, here's what Royal Caribbean offers for the menu. Pause if you want to read more. Here's a paper menu if you don't like the digital menu. Again, pause if you want to read more. Here's the Christmas menu if you're thinking of doing a holiday cruise, which I recommend. A little bit different than being by the fireplace with your family, around the Yule log, handing around presents. It's a little different. And here's a little bit of the kids menu. Now, here is our Thanksgiving cruise experience. We went. It's it's presented, and you're like, hey, okay, this looks good, right? You look at this, it looks good. Here's the lasagna. It looks, hey, okay, it looks good, right? It looks beefy. Chicken parmesan looks pretty good. I paid extra for the sushi boat. Ribs, you got some corn there and fries. Here's a little bit of the breakfast menu and the MDR, other dessert and dining options. And this is our Thanksgiving meal. It can only be described as shaved turkey put in an oven, and that's about it. Shrimp, and then shrimp was good, and whatever was under it. Here's some menu of the brunch. Here's the menu for some of the dinner offerings. Pause if you want to read more. If you're like, hey, I've never seen the menu before. What did they offer? Is there something for me? Pause to read more. There's the Thanksgiving meal. So you got the Royal Caribbean Christmas meal. You got the Thanksgiving meal for Carnival. More menus, and more menus. So now you've seen the offerings, you've seen the pictures, and there is a difference. You can't taste the difference on a PowerPoint presentation. A little context: I went with a kid who's 12, now 13. I went with some folks in their 30s, 40s, 60s, and now approaching 70. So I got many decades covered, many different tastes covered. Some people from Seattle, some people from Georgia. So there is some general consensus here. Let me start off by saying there is a price difference between Carnival and Royal Caribbean, and that price difference for a balcony room for 2 to 3 people on Carnival, if I don't know, $2,500, $3,000 or so is about the range for a 7-day cruise. Royal Caribbean, $2,800 if you're strategic. Our cruise next year on Adventure of the Seas, just looked it up, $2,752 for a 6-day cruise. Icon, oh my goodness, $1,500 for an inside. So there. Let's just call it what it is. Royal Caribbean is more expensive to the tune of $500 to $800 per cruise. So the question is, it comes down to volume. Do you want to have a great, well-rounded experience, or do you just want to have an experience? Somebody on the Facebook group coined it best when they said, hey, how's the food on Carnival? Or if somebody complains about food on Carnival, this comment stuck with me. there will always be something to eat. There's always something you can eat. And that's a great expression. When you're on a Carnival ship, there is stuff you can eat. You might not do backflips, cartwheels. It certainly wouldn't be a 5-star review, but like when you walk into a gas station and there's no, you're hungry, right? The thing that's spinning on that little warmer, just imagine that thing that's just kind of spinning there, whether it's a burrito, an egg roll, a taquito, well, whatever it is, or maybe even a hot dog. If you're hungry, you'll eat it. And the risk, I think has a lot to do with how Carnival prepares their food. And more context. Magic, we've been on Carnival Magic. We've been on the Mardi Gras and Horizon. So from a medium-sized ship, maybe medium-large to a really large ship. And Jewel of the Seas would be, I don't know, small, medium if you round up. But Carnival prepares their food in bulk. And the French fries, for example, on top of this, they were fried. If you've ever went to McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's and got French fries, but you didn't eat them right away, you're going to wait until you get home. You kind of get stuck in traffic and you get home 45 minutes later. That's what those French fries taste like. And the same thing with the French fries here under the ribs. You're like, holy smokes, this is a rib dinner. The French fries were done well before we ordered. The corn. I've had corn my entire life. That corn on that rib, I can remember it. And because it didn't have the crisp, it was not like any corn that I've ever had before. As a matter of fact, after one bite, I didn't have any more of that corn. But the ribs, yeah, it was good. It was fine. Chicken Parmesan, people ate it. But lasagna, a little bland, But could you eat it? So if you're sitting there going, hey, do I want, how important, if you're listening to this, food might very well be important to you. And I'm making it sound like it's important to me. You know what? It is. It is important to me. The steak on Carnival, gristly. About 40% of this steak I couldn't eat. The scalloped potatoes were good, but scalloped potatoes you can cook in bulk and they'll be good all day. Chicken, very dry. It was, I don't know. It was dry. I'm being honest, and I didn't eat whatever this is. My dad said he enjoyed this dish, but he's in the Navy, so he'll eat whatever. This was okay. The fish was very dry, and then the chicken, deli meat slapped on a metal tray, put in the oven. The chicken was dry. This was uber dry, and I think this was artichokes under the shrimp, and it collapsed. The texture just shouldn't be like that. Conversely, if I go back to here, beef Wellington, I was like, wow, Christmas was 3 days in, so I had good faith to try something new. That was a fantastic dining experience. The pasta, fantastic dining experience. The herb-crusted salmon was like the crust, like I told you how the French fries were on hold for 45 minutes. I'd swear to you that this just got done within 5 minutes and delivered, and it was a great dining experience. This tasted good. The sides, the spinach, very similar to if you opened up a can of spinach at home, you'd swear that it was prepared moments earlier. The crab cakes, crisp, fresh. The chicken, I've had the chicken on Carnival. I was always disappointed when I did it. Just because my expectation of how it should taste, the texture, this was an enjoyable experience. And the corn, I don't know, I'm surprised how much I can talk about corn, frankly. But if you don't know how much you can talk about corn till you put a forkload of corn in your mouth and it's not anywhere like any corn you've ever had in your life and you were disappointed. This is very much similar to that experience. The steak, oh heavens. This isn't even like the pay extra steak. It was a great steak. Maybe 5% of it needed to be cut out. And I had steak 3 different times. The baked potato, look at the lasagna here. And the lasagna had taste. The lasagna had flavor. It had chicken. I don't want this to be like a 30-minute video. All I'm going to say is there is a price. Let me close this. Let me wrap this up here succinctly. There is a price difference between Royal Caribbean and Carnival. And now you have to figure out, is eating food worth that difference? There's other differences, and I just wanted to make sure that if I beat a dead horse, I wanted to do it in this video, because in my other Royal Caribbean Carnival video, I'm going to summarize the experience, because there's other experiences I got to talk about. But I wanted to beat the dead horse here, because if you're watching this, food is important to you, and it is important to me. Royal Caribbean's food is better to the tune that we've changed how we've cruised, because we've only cruised Carnival, and after a couple, so we'll call it so-so meals too many, man, dried chicken's just inexcusable. We mixed it up, and now we're not looking back, which is a shame, because I'm near platinum. I almost got the laundry, almost. So anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line, email me, leave a comment. But this is just one family's take, and for me, the difference in the math kind of becomes, hey, do I want to do 2 cruises with food that's meh, or 1 cruise a year where the food is, oh wow, okay, look at this. So that's kind of where we're at. Until the next time, I hope you travel safe, and I'll see you then.